everybody. Welcome to the Our Minds Matter Thrive Brunch. First of all, thank you to all of our amazing sponsors for making this event possible. To thrive is to prosper and flourish, and despite the pandemic and countless other devastations, Our Minds Matter clubs have done just that during the school year. We could not be more excited to celebrate the student leaders and club sponsors who remained resilient in their fight to end the stigma around mental health. The human brain has a natural tendency to give weight and remember more negative experiences. Our brains literally have a negative bias that causes us to focus on the bad things, but not today. Today, we're going to celebrate and recognize all of the accomplishments we have made together. A silver lining to the pandemic is that mental health has come to the forefront for all of us. This school year, our mighty but very small team supported 95 Our Minds Matter clubs across the country and even the world. We are now a global movement with clubs in Canada, Colombia, South America, and Pakistan. While we have a global vision, we have a local impact here in the DC metro area. I'd like to raise up one of our newest school district partnerships, Montgomery County Public Schools. In October 2019, shortly before the pandemic shutdown, we only had one Our Minds Matter chapter in Montgomery County. But thanks to the commitment of Montgomery County Public School staff, Catherine Royston from the Our Minds Matter team, and funding from the Devenstein Rubenstein Foundation, we are now supporting 14 Our Minds Matter clubs, which those of you that aren't good at math like myself, that's 13 Our Minds Matter clubs during a pandemic. So thank you and special shout out to all of you who joined today who played a huge role in that success. The student and staff resiliency we saw this past year does not stop with Montgomery County. In fact, 52 of our clubs started this year, many of them operating entirely virtual. They held over 250 student-led meetings across the globe, and more than 1,600 unique students have directly participated in Our Minds Matter activities at their school. In just a little while, you'll get to hear personal experiences from Our Minds Matter students in breakout rooms, reflecting on some of those highlights and challenges from this school year. But before we do that, if you haven't heard, Our Minds Matter is growing. We welcomed our newest team members, Zaina Allen and Rachel Greenberg, earlier this month. With their talents on our team, we have no doubt we will deepen the impact and further the reach of the program during this next school year. Feel free to drop them some love in the chat. Our Minds Matter is designed to be an upstream suicide prevention model. By fostering social connectedness, self-care, and healthy habits, pro-social and help-seeking behaviors among students, Our Minds Matter equips students with the tools they need to cope with life's challenges and to be a positive support system for their peers. Ultimately, Our Minds Matter goals are to prevent teen suicide and help individuals thrive. While physical distancing and the feelings of social isolation were on the rise during the pandemic, clubs organically began focusing on building social connectedness among their club members. So we thought we would invite student leader and now Our Minds Matter alumni Hyra to share more about what we call an opening ritual and lead us in a short exercise that many clubs use different versions of today. Hyra, it's all you.
Thank you, Laura Beth. Welcome, everyone. My name is Khaira. Think of it as Kira, the K and H, so Hyra. I am coming to you guys from my kitchen, watching the oven. Excited. I think I have about 2 more minutes, so it might beep. So I'm Khaira. I'm the leader of Edison Minds Matter, and I started off my sophomore year. So I guess every single time we start our meeting, we like to have a opening ritual, and that kind of sets the tone for the meeting because normally we want to foster like a safe space and everyone's either stressed with like schoolwork or there's just a lot happening. So when we want people to come to our meetings, our students or like our team members, we just want everyone to feel relaxed just as a way, like an escape. So we always start off with like highs and lows, and sometimes those highs and lows come into like 30 minutes and like that's all what we do during the meeting. So I welcome you all. We kind of want to set the tone for this. I welcome you all to in the chat, finish the sentence, despite the pandemic, and feel free to share anything. This is a no judgment zone. So whatever despite the pandemic, you were able to do? Feel free to share it with us. I guess for me, I can say something. Despite the pandemic, I was able to meet some amazing people like you guys. So I'm really excited. Some people are saying persevered senior year. Yes, we are done, which is exciting. Found a love of taking care of plants. Yes, I actually fell in love with nature. Before I was like an anti-nature person, but now I love nature. Practice self-care. Yes. Connect deeply with some of the most wonderful students in our schools. Yes. Find joy in the world around me. And I just feel like overall we were able to like find joy in like the small things that we never realized, such as like plants or nature. Finished my first year of grad school. That is amazing. And that is the oven. So I'm excited. I was able to grow as a person and change my mentality for the better. Yes. Finished my first book. That is amazing. I
If
made
you need
friends.
to go take your cuckoo out of the oven, we can continue to read these off till you're back.
Oh, that's okay. I think I did it for 13 minutes. So I feel like I should just like, yeah. I learned a lot about myself. Okay. I think that one really stood out the most because I can definitely connect with you on that. I found some more hobbies, gardening, biking, reading, and speak out more. I think that is really beautiful, like speaking out more. So kudos to you. Keeping connected with friends, learn about myself, spend quality time with family. Yeah, and I think overall everyone was able to like, I guess despite everything, they were able to like find themselves in the midst of all of this. Like there is a silver lining in every single thing. And I think like that's the beauty of just like being alone or just like learning new things. So I'm so happy for everyone who shared in the chat. Despite the pandemic, we're still living through it, but I guess we can still find the joy in the little things.
Thank you so much, Hyra, and thank you everyone for sharing kind of some unforeseen small wins. So what's going to happen next? Hyra, go grab your cuckoo before it burns. And what's going to happen next is Catherine's actually going to be sending us to breakout rooms where you'll get to hear personal experiences from Our Minds Matter students and sponsors, reflecting on some of the highlights and challenges they've experienced this past school year. If at any point you get disconnected, you can come back using the link to join, and Catherine will be here in the main room to make sure you can get assigned to a breakout room, but just know that someone will be back in the main room if you get disconnected.
All right, see you all shortly.
Alrighty, well, I would love to hear some reflections and some recap of the conversations you all were having in those breakout rooms. And I know Miss Wheeler just said that they enjoyed the conversation. So if someone from Miss Wheeler's group and Miss Wheeler, one of our club sponsors, wants to share.
I can share. So we had a lot of first-time clubs in our room. So we all would like to do more in person. There were a lot of people talked about their club outreach and how they had a few school-wide events, which was very fun. And there was also talk about how people want to grow their club membership because it's hard to gain a lot of members in the middle of a virtual year. But yeah, it was a great conversation.
Thanks, Morgan. Anyone from Jose and Jesse Garrick's room? I believe your breakout room 4.
Yes. So I think we all agreed in rows, something that went well. I know some of them met their colleagues in work as well. The thorn, a challenge, we talked about just dealing with like some online problems that we had. And the bud, something that we were looking forward to was the cuckoo that we just made. And I have like, it's right here. My mom already took a bite, so I think it's really good.
That does look good. Thanks for saying.
And just like meeting people in the next year as well. We all agreed in that.
Awesome. Well, I know we're super excited to see what your club accomplishes next year after a really successful year, even in the midst of a pandemic. So kudos to you all. What about Hyra and Lauren Anderson's group?
So for our group, we also did the rosebud thorn exercise. And a lot of common thorns were just dealing with isolation and kind of work-life balance in the pandemic. Common roses were people were excited about getting to see people as it's kind of opening up this summer. And then buds were, one of our members is taking a trip to California this summer. So she was really looking forward to that.
Thanks for sharing, Maggie. And we'll, for the sake of time, only have one more group share. So what about Nina and Zaina Allen's group?
I can share for that group. So we talked a little bit about like different campaigns some of our clubs were doing. So one school's actually did like an equity panel. And then also we talked about how like we're all kind of going through like leadership transitions right now. Whether that be like seniors who are graduating or juniors who are taking on bigger roles. So those were kind of like connections we made.
Thanks for sharing, Annie. And I know a lot of other clubs have been interested in doing an equity panel. So I'd love to hear about that success and have some other clubs implement that. And feel free, I think we have one more minute if anyone else wants to share anything before we move on to our club awards portion in recognition of the program.
So I'd like to share real quickly from our group. It was super great to hear from the students there from Edison High School. And what the big rose was that they had a very successful Stress Less, Laugh More, or Stress Less, whatever it's called now, but virtual. And I was just so impressed to hear how great it was. And they're also turning over their leadership. So their leaders are all seniors and they've got their new group coming in. And I guess they've started to take over 2 months ago and they're running the meetings and doing a great job. So, I mean, kudos to the team there and what they're doing to set themselves up for success going forward. So really great to hear that.
Absolutely. I think they had their new rising leaders interning earlier this year. And I know we were super impressed that they determined their leadership very early on, even though we're very sad to be losing a lot of outstanding seniors. Alrighty, so should we get on with the club awards and AMI awards portion? Alrighty. So this year we created the AMI Awards to recognize outstanding leaders and positive change agents in the Our Minds Matter network. Special thanks to our AMI Award sponsors for making this recognition possible. So we received 44 unique nominations of fellow classmates and club sponsors, and we are so grateful for all of your efforts in the movement to change the narrative around mental health. Without further delay, we will now recognize the AMI Award winners. Congratulations to Ryan Dickerson for winning the AMI Award for Sponsor of the Year. This is what the Wits and Minds Matter community had to share about Mr. Dickerson. Feel free to use the reactions to celebrate. So this is what they had to share about you, Mr. Dickerson. He cares deeply about helping us succeed in Wits and Minds Matter. We always appreciate having such a kind, honest, and reliable club sponsor. He brings a level of enthusiasm, commitment, and knowledge that cannot be matched. He takes time out of his busy schedule to dedicate to the club and has great ideas on how to bring our school community together to focus on the goals and initiatives of our club. Mr. Dickerson's ability to connect with our students and shows all the important to our school community and is truly a gift. Congratulations, Ryan. And from the entire family, we appreciate all that you do for What's in Minds Matter and the Our Minds Matter Network. And after we finish recognizing all the AMI recipients, there will be a time for all the award winners to have their remarks. So we received so many heartwarming nominations for Student Leader of the Year. So we couldn't just award just one award. We have 2 Student Leaders of the Year. Congratulations to Rita Marana for winning the Student Leader of the Year award. Your Brookwood Minds Matter classmates and sponsors had such high remarks to say about you. Here are a few. This year was the first year the club was at our school, and Rita did such a great job as president. She is the reason we have this amazing club at our school and is genuinely passionate about mental health. She is so incredibly determined to make our school a better place. She's personally done a lot for me in the club and always makes it a point to let everyone in the club know that it's okay if we can't always do something. Let's just do the best at our moment. Congratulations, Rita, on this well-deserved award. Next, congratulations to Kendall Lindsay for also being voted Student Leader of the Year. Your Apopka Minds Matter community shared that you found the club in a desperate time of need when the Our Minds Matter program was most needed. Your school district had 3 suicides of students in the past few years, and COVID hit your students really hard. Kendall stepped up and decided to spread the message at her school, and the stigma behind mental health needs to end, and did so by dedicating her senior year to leading Apopka Minds Matter. Kendall created a strong foundation for the club this year, and I'm sure that the club will continue its good work at Apopka for years to come. Thanks to Kendall and all of her efforts. Congratulations, Kendall, for winning the second Student Leader of the Year award. Next goes to the Senior of the Year, Carly Sutton. Congratulations. This is what Moore Park Minds Matter said about you. Carly co-led the group for 2 years, during which time they've done many fun activities. She brought in therapy dogs during finals week, in which over 100 students participated. And I think I can say that therapy dogs are one of our students' most favorite school-wide campaigns. And during the pandemic, Carly helped and along with the other leadership team personally delivered care packages to each club member. Congratulations, Carly, Senior of the Year. Last but certainly not least, congrats to Kevin Chow for being the Club Member of the Year. Classmates and sponsors nominated Kevin for this award because he prioritizes his own mental health, is dedicated to the club, and has demonstrated resiliency in an extremely challenging year. Congratulations to Kevin for receiving the first Club Member of the Year award. Now I will stop talking and open the floor to our AMI recipients.
I guess I'll get started. Just first of all, thank you guys so much. And I feel like there are many other sponsors who are equally or maybe even more deserving, but I do want to make sure that I thank Shannon Russos, who's really my partner as a sponsor at school, and she's just as deserving of this. I also want to note our president, Jada Bromberg, who for 2 years has really pushed our club forward. And without her efforts, I'm not sure where we would be, but she is probably one of the most amazing students I've ever had the opportunity to work with. And check her out tonight. And This Is My Brave. She'll be performing, and you'll hear a little bit more of her story. And the only other thing I'll just add is, I'm just really, I think what this club has done for me is just showing me how many amazing young students that we do have out there, how compassionate, how caring this generation is. And I know that sometimes people talk about so much about a bleak future, but I really look at these kids and I see a lot of hope, a lot of promise, a lot of potential change. And I'm just amazed and honored to work with these students. This is really their organization and it's awesome. So thank you guys.
Thank you, Ryan.
I just wanted to say thank you so much for the award. I don't think I expected this at all. And in this club it's definitely had its struggles and it's definitely had its positive moments as well. There's been a lot of both, but I think this is definitely one for the books for the positive moment for me. I didn't think that I would be able to make such an impact, but hearing all of the things that some of my club leaders and fellow peers have said about me has been sort of a really rewarding thing after a whole year of maybe even more of working really, really hard for this club. So I just wanted to say thank you for having this platform for recognition and allowing me to be a part of it.
Thank you, Rita. I know Catherine and I can recall the first time we ever talked to you on the phone when you reached out about starting a club, and we were just so impressed by you and your initiative to get started.
That means so much. Thank you so much.
So I guess I'm next. So I started this club in my school with a few of my really close friends because we kind of have like an underground community of people at my school who are afflicted by mental disorders. So we decided that we wanted to really put ourselves out there and let other people know that it's understandable, and we need to create a community around like mental health and looking after yourself, whether you have a mental disorder or you don't. It's really important that we look after each other and that we're looking after our mental health, because you may not see it, but people around you could be suffering and they could really need help, but just not know where they can get help from. And it's really encouraging to have a student point you in the right direction as opposed to an adult, because what I found through having mental health seminars and reaching out to people in my community is a lot of kids are afraid to reach out to adults for help, and it's a lot more encouraging if you have a student that you can go to and that student can help you get help. So I found that we've really done a really good job at breaking down the stigma around mental health and mental disorders, and we've really helped people in our community. We've had posters put up around our school to make sure people know that resources are out there for them. We had a psychologist from one of our local hospitals partner with us and have a seminar, and we've had just a lot of success in really getting out there in our first year, and I'm really excited for what the leadership team is going to do next year.
Absolutely, Kendall, well spoken. And like Zaina said in the chat, wise words. I think we know that teens are more likely to go to other teens when they're experiencing mental health challenges. And so empowering you all with the tools and what you all have accomplished in your short time as a club has been truly inspiring. So thank you, Kendall, for all of your hard work. Alrighty, I think our other two AMI recipients could not join us today. So we're going to move on to the club awards. And first, special thanks to our club award sponsors for making this recognition possible. Going into this year, like many, we were really building the plane as we were flying it. We didn't know what to expect or how long things wouldn't be normal. All we knew is that we wanted to make sure clubs had the tools they needed to continue to hold space to focus on their wellness. We were really blown away by the drive and innovation of the young leaders in the Our Minds Matter network to create change despite the unimaginable obstacles and challenges they themselves were facing. We're so grateful for all of our club's hard work and perseverance this school year. Now we want to take some time to shine a light on a few clubs who shine so brightly this year. So if you follow us on social media, you won't be surprised by the Rookie of the Year winner, as they were recently featured by Carson Daly on the Today Show. Congratulations to Watkins Mill Minds Matter for being named Rookie Our Minds Matter Club of the Year. There are countless reasons why Watkins Mill is so deserving of this recognition, but I'll try to name a few. You started your club in the middle of a pandemic. You held 30 club meetings and got over 70 of your classmates and friends involved with Watkins Mill Minds Matter in its first year as a club. You offered support to other clubs by sharing your ideas and initiatives at student leadership trainings. You created an inclusive club environment by translating your materials into Spanish. And the list goes on, but for the sake of time, I won't. So we are so impressed with all that your club has accomplished in its first year, and we cannot wait to see what you do in this next school year. Congratulations, Watkins Mill Minds Matter. Alrighty, so our next award is the Above and Beyond Award. And I think we can all agree that frontline workers have gone above and beyond to take care of us this past year, which is why our Above and Beyond Club Award goes to Avon Grove Minds Matter, because they didn't let their kindness and sacrifices go unnoticed. Avon Grove set up a drop box for small packages at the front of their school to contribute drawings, notes, and letters to show their appreciation. Club leaders, while maintaining social distancing and wearing masks, of course, were able to connect 400 submissions or collect 400 submissions of gratitude to distribute to their community's frontline workers. Also, it can't go unmentioned that they started their club in November of 2020 and held this campaign shortly after launching their club. Congratulations, Avon Grove, on being the Above and Beyond Club Award winner. Congratulations. Next, the Equity and Inclusivity Award goes to Westfield Minds Matter, who started their club back in 2019. They have consistently worked to change school culture around mental health for all students. Club awards, to name a few of your initiatives for this club award, you held space to acknowledge the impact of racial injustices on students' mental health. You advocated for more inclusive school policies for the LGBTQ classmates. You collaborated with other clubs and organizations in the school to adopt more equitable practices. And your efforts weren't only noticed by us, but by Fairfax County Public Schools when you won the Peace Award that was designed to recognize peacemakers in the community. Congratulations, Westfield Minds Matter, and thank you for all that you're doing to build a more equitable culture. Our Team Player Award goes to Edison Minds Matter. They started their club back in 2018 and have consistently shown up to support not only their schools, but the Our Minds Matter network as a whole. Edison Minds Matter consistently held club meetings and have gotten 140 of their classmates involved with the club. They've offered support to Our Minds Matter clubs by inviting them to observe club meetings, and they presented their tips and tricks at student leadership trainings. Proactively recruited new student leaders, as many of them were graduating, and they collaborated with other clubs at their school on their shared mission of building a better school climate. There's no I in team, and we can't think of a more deserving club for the Team Player Award. It's been an honor to work with Edison Minds Matter over the years to achieve our shared vision of a day when no teen dies by suicide. Congrats, Edison Minds Matter. And our last award before the remarks from the award winners goes to Frost Minds Matter for being the pilot of the year. For the past year, we had the opportunity to pilot Our Minds Matter in middle schools. And to be frank, I personally was a little hesitant to try the pilot in middle schools during a pandemic, but with exceptional support and energy from club sponsors Jennifer Zabel and Alex Lantis, there was no stopping the pilot from happening. Frost Minds Matter held weekly club meetings, created creative and developmentally appropriate leadership positions for middle school age students, like an online meeting DJ. They wrote and received a $500 grant from Wegmans, and they held some of the most innovative club meetings with various themes, like virtual dance parties, PJ and Cocoa party, where students would decorate a holiday sweater and build a holiday dream house. And they organized a middle school buddies event, which involved 3 other middle schools coming together to connect and practice different coping skills and healthy habits. Thank you to Frost Minds Matter for all the time and energy you've dedicated to supporting the mental health of middle school students this year. We can't wait to see what next year brings. And finally, remarks from our club award winners.
Hi, this is, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
You can go ahead. I already spoke first. You can go ahead.
Oh, okay. Miss Wheeler, let's talk together here. I I see you on chat. Come on now, my friend. Miss Wheeler and I have had just the ride of our lives. And I was new to Watkins Mill High School in 2019-20, and then we started our club this past year and asked Miss Wheeler to partner with me, not really knowing her very well, just knowing that everybody spoke so very highly of her. She had a mental health background, and I just wanted to get to know her better. And my gut was that, you know, she would be a fabulous co-sponsor. And in addition to meeting and working with the most amazing students, it's been such a gift to me to develop such a dear friend through the network. Ms. Wheeler, what can you add to that? Because you always have the best words.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Well, I'm going to hold back the tears if I can.
I don't think that's necessary.
Well, in order for me to talk, but this organization, this opportunity are during a pandemic. I work in special ed as a para, and I have typically worked with the quote unquote bad kids, if you will, or the ones that are really struggling with a lot of outbursts. And so to actually see another side of our Watkins Mill, the energy, the positivity, the love for others was so highlighted with our team. I was just so impressed and so honored to be a part of this. And Miss Neff always speaks so highly of me, but she just is like the mother hen, kind of gathering and supporting and building up and doing all the fine tuning things. I really believe God brought us together as a great team, and not just Miss Neff and myself, but a whole team. So thank you, OMM, for this great opportunity. Well done on your part.
I'm Sophia, and I'm from Avon Grove Minds Matter, and it's really such an honor to receive this award. I never, like, when I thought about starting this club, I was super apprehensive, and it was just kind of a idea in my head, and I'm just so beyond grateful that I was able to do this alongside like my sponsors and our other club leaders. I think it's just been really amazing, and I've received nothing but positive feedback from our school and from our school district. So I think at the end of the day, that's really what matters most, knowing that we are making a change and knowing that people are being impacted in a positive way. So thank you for giving us this award. It's such an honor, and congratulations to all the other clubs as well.
Hello. Okay, I can go next. I'm from Westfield's Minds Matters. The rest of our officers are kind of busy, so they couldn't come, but I can speak on behalf of everyone. I was like not expecting for our club to get this award, but it's really like our senior officers who really deserve this. They really worked so hard in making sure our club really fostered like a community that was for everyone, and we made sure to highlight all different issues such as like how racial justice intersects with mental health, stuff like that, you know. So we were able to like do some panels and discuss with our teachers and the admin about these types of issues, and they really went above and beyond with all this types of stuff. So I hope we can follow in their footsteps next year as like the new officers. But they're definitely excited to hear about this. So thank you.
We can go next. I think for me, it's best if I don't talk, because I feel like if I start talking, I'm gonna tear up. But it's definitely, it's honestly a true honor. And I think one thing I do want to say is that if it weren't for Edison, I mean, like for our Minds Matter in general, or Laura Beth or Lauren or Catherine and just the whole team, I don't know where I would be. So it's definitely been a journey and something that I'm very, very thankful for. And maybe if Huda, I see you here, or Mr. Schlemmer, you want to take the mic and just like, you know, talk, I think that would be better. But like Miss Wheeler, like you said, holding back your tears, I actually have my tissue. Yeah, it's definitely been a journey, and I'm just so thankful, and I just feel very, very fortunate. So thank you to everyone.
Yeah, I would just like to jump in on David Schlemmer, and I just have had the wonderful pleasure to work with the Edison Minds Matter and the leadership, Haida, Huda, and Amira. I just love you all, and thank you so much for all you've brought to our school community, and that ripple will continue as you head on to other things that I know you're going to take. all the good work that you're doing and have done over these years at Edison. You're going to take that out into the community and wherever you go. So thank you. And you definitely are amazing team players. So thanks to our Edison Minds Matter officers and for this recognition, and to all the schools and sponsors that are here today. This is a wonderful event. Much appreciated.
Okay, I guess maybe I can go next. I'm Jen Zabel, and I'm one of the co-sponsors of Frost Minds Matter. Goodness, I didn't know this was going to happen. I was just enjoying my coffee and celebrating with everyone. So it's amazing honor to be recognized for all the hard work. I know Alex and I, when we think back to the beginning, we have one live club meeting and then schools closed, and we were devastated because we had 3 club members at the time. And then when we had the opportunity to try and do these clubs in a virtual setting, we were not sure how to do it, but we had so much fun together, just planning things, figuring out, can we have student leaders? Can we even do this in a virtual format while we were trying to figure out how to do school on the computer? So I want to thank Alex for all of his creativity. He pushes me outside of my box when I'm like a little too conservative, that he makes it so much fun when we're doing things. So I know he's taught me a lot just about being in front of kids like he does as a teacher. I think we've always said, like, our kids, we have like some ideas, but once we hand it over to them, they just run with it and make it so much better and so inspiring. So I think really, honestly, as a mental health provider in the schools, this is really the activity that's helped me get through this year, because I know, like everyone, we're probably burnt out from being on the computer and suffering from like our own mental health fatigue. So to have this opportunity to create a club and just watch it grow and watch the kids be so inspiring each week really was, I think, the thing that helped me get through this year. I'm so excited to see the kids all the time. I'm just motivated by what they're gonna do next. So thank you so much, Our Minds Matter, for this awesome opportunity and award.
I just will say really quick, thank you, Dr. Zabel, for all your hard work. I'm very thankful to our students. They've taught us, I feel like, more than we've taught them, and the club wouldn't be possible without all the hard work, their participation and dedication. And I think mental health education and support needs to start as early as possible. So I'm very grateful that Our Minds Matter thought about working with middle schools, because I think it is important when you start that work at a younger age, they're able to develop it. And I think it will help them be more successful as they move on. So we're very grateful for Our Minds Matter.
All right, well, I'll take it home from here. It's been so amazing to see so many of you and hear from so many of you about your experiences this past year. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you who has joined us this morning on Zoom again, but to celebrate the amazing accomplishments of the Our Minds Matter network. Over this past year, we have all had to dig deep, and with the support of our friends and family, establish a new way of being in this pandemic world. I truly believe that the 95 Our Minds Matter clubs in 95 school communities were what made the difference for so many students who might otherwise have fallen apart during this past year. That your consistent club meetings became the glue that held them together, became the safe place where they could share openly, and the necessary thing that tethered them to their school and community. I think that some of you students don't even realize the impact that you've made on your peers and school community. You have likely saved lives this past year just by showing up, putting in the effort, and being yourselves. To our partners and donors on this call, We can't do it without you. Your support and funding is the literal fuel that to all of these clubs' efforts. If you haven't yet, you might consider making a donation to the Our Minds Matter efforts. We'll drop a link in the chat that you can follow. And we are so appreciative of all of our donors and sponsors of this event for, again, being the fuel behind these clubs' efforts. To educators, you have been climbing uphill for months, and the blood, sweat, and tears, so to speak, and quite literally, has also made the difference for these students. So we congratulate you for making it here. Big pats on the back to all of you. To parents, you are wizards. Your ability to manage your own jobs and responsibilities while managing your kids at home and their Zoom school is something we will speak about for years to come as a remarkable, remarkable feat. Finally, to the exceptional students we have seen throughout today's event, you are the reason we are here today. You are the reason Our Minds Matter exists. You are the change. You are the future. You are working toward a day when no more teens die by suicide, and that is because of you. And finally, to the Our Minds Matter staff, we could not have done this past year. I could not have done this past year without our staff, especially Laura Beth and Catherine, who jumped into this year and were all hands on deck despite their own struggles of being a parent at home, right? All of those things. So this past year could not have been the way it was without you. And I am just so grateful for all of your efforts and continuously putting the students first and just showing up day in and day out. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I believe that my brother Josh might very well be here today if there had been an Our Minds Matter club at his school. So thank you for making this difference in all of your school communities. We hope you feel celebrated today and can take with you this light that we are all shining down on you. Thank you so much for joining us for our end of year celebration. It's 12:01, so 1 minute of your time, but thank you for joining us, and we hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.